Then the next thing is about notebook. So basically the everything that's done in Databricks will be in this notebook. So let's say, and the important thing about notebooks is it is very interactive. So let's say if we could write some code and then we could execute the code and we will get the result here. So this is one data frame, and we just read the data frame and then we display the data frame and we will get the result here itself. So it is very interactive. We could create visualizations, all of that from the notebook.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, now we will see how to create a notebook. So click on workspace. Like I showed you earlier, we could create a folder. So I've already created folder. So let's say we are just creating folder to keep our files organized. So here we can create a notebook, and we could use this notebook as module 1, and we can set the default language. So basically, by default language, what I mean is we could select between Python, SQL, Scala, and R. So whatever code that we write here will be run in Python. But say, even if we have set the default language as Python, and if we want to run some SQL command, then we could give the magic command %SQL. So if we use %SQL, we can run SQL, or if you want to run Scala, we could give %Scala, and it will run Scala code. Even though the default language is Python, we can run SQL commands here. Let's say, I will just keep select one. So when I run select one, you can see, like I said earlier, it's very interactive, whatever we are doing, and we could display that here itself. Yeah, so okay, now creating and opening a notebook. So, and to open an existing notebook, say if to just go to workspace, navigate to our folder, and then we could open up some other notebooks as well. Next is about the interface. So basically, you should be knowing now how to change the default language here. And even if we have Python to run another language, we could use %SQL. That's another thing. And then we can have. So here we could have import notebook, export notebook, all of that here.
Okay.
Yeah, and how to clone a notebook also we could use here, but I'll show you how to clone using this other way. Rename, move our notebook to a different folder, then upload data to DBFS. We will be seeing that now. Then create table and export. This is how we export a notebook. So we can create on export, and then we could hit on these files. So this will just be how the output will look like once we export. Then we have version history. So version history is nothing but we can link our Databricks notebook to Git. So once we have linked our Databricks notebook to Git, so if we make some changes, that change will automatically be integrated to Git. You know version controlling, right? Here, so edit we won't be using edit much, as in whatever is present here, we can do that inside the cell itself.
Yeah.
Then here line numbers, all of that. and then help. Yeah, that's about this. And then here we saw if we have multiple users logging in, we can see them here.
Okay.
Yeah, if multiple users are using the same notebook at the same time, we can see their user ID here, and say since this is saying green, I'm having a green sign here. So if you have one more user, let me see if I can. What I'm saying is it will come up as a different color. Oh, it's because it's the same ID, it's coming in the same way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if it's a different ID, it will come up as a different color. So we can see who is making change, who is making what change. Then wait. Then here we could run the cells. To run all the cells in the notebook, we could use this. And to run individual cell, just select on the cell, hit on, click on this and this to run the particular cell, or click on Shift plus Enter. That will run this command. So you have already worked. You should be knowing this. So here we can select the cluster, which cluster to use. All of that here.
Okay.
And this is to basically publish our notebook. That all of that we'll be seeing in the CACD session.
Okay.
Then yeah, revision history and to add comments to the notebook. Yeah. Now coming to cell. So in the cell we have the default language. Say if we want to change the default language. So basically there are three types of cells in the notebook. So one is the code cell, markdown cell, and row cell. Say I'll show you what is markdown cell. So here if we change the language to markdown, it will give %empty, and say if we type anything like title 1, it will show that as a header. It will come like a header.
Okay.
So those are markdown cell. Then code cell is nothing but the cells in which we write our code, like using Python, SQL, Scala, R. So and then we have a row cell. A row cell is nothing but if we will have cells where we just comment out all of the code, or comment out and give comments. So those are all raw cells. These are not interpreted by the notebook.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's about the three types of cells. Then inside these cells, say here we have the option to run all of the cells above or all of the cells below, or run this particular cell. Then this is about we could add cell above, add cell below, and so if we want to give title to this particular cell, we can use this. And here we could say title 2, and then that will just give the title. Yeah. And say if we have execute this result and if we want to hide the result, this will be very we will be using this very often, because if we have a lot of results that's popping up, it will be difficult to see the entire code. So to avoid that, we could use hide result, and then we get use show result to show the result here. So we basically we saw three types of cell and working with code and text in notebook. Then how to create a new cell, so we could click on the plus here to create a new cell, or we could go here and add a cell below. That will add cell below. Next is basically writing code. We saw if you want to write in some other language, you could use this, or if you just want to go with Python, you could go print, and that will just print the output here. what I did is shift enter, and then that executed this cell. Then writing text, we saw how to write the text, and then displaying code within text. So inside say inside the markdown language, if you want to write code, you use the backtick and then write code inside this. That will just show as a highlighted thing here. Then to switch between cell, it is very easy. We could just go and select here. And now recently Databricks has provided, as in recently in the documentation I saw, we could run multiple cells at the same time. So that is one very recent change that they have made. So I'm yet to look into how we could do that, but it is possible. In the next session, I'll be showing you how we can do that. Then switching between cells we saw, and now we will see how to import and export notebook. So basically, we will create here export a notebook, export as a TPC file. Yeah. Now we'll click on import notebook. Okay. Now we have imported the notebook, and we will be having two more. So this is the one that I just imported.
Okay.
Next is about connecting to data sources. That is really not in the scope of this session. So as in we have an exclusive module on how to connect to other Azure data sources. I can show you how to basically to get a sample data set. So here what we're going to do is we have a Databricks file system. So you could think a Databricks file system as like a storage space that's inside Databricks, to which we are going to upload data to this. Okay, now if we go inside data, we should be seeing this. Go to data. Inside data, click on hit on create table. We will copy this particular file path, and then we're gonna go to the workspace. Basically, how to read a file is what I'm gonna show here.
Okay.
So to read a file, we could use the read API. spark.read. Now since it's CSV file, I'm gonna give spark.read.csv, and then since it's Databricks file system, dpfs, and just give the path. If you can see here, the first line is not the header. So to make the first line as header, I could give header. So this, so what happened here is we read this Databricks file. We put the Databricks, we read the CSV file, put the CSV file into a data frame, and we displayed that data frame. So this is PySpark code. This is just so that you will get a taste of what we're gonna do in future.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is about how to read a file basically. I'll show you how to move a notebook around. As in, if you want to move, we could use here and then move a notebook. Basically, go to folder, select notebook, and then if you want to move it here, we could move it and then select where to move it to. Yeah, and then we could that will move the database to. It moved the database from here, this folder to this folder. We have module 1 here. Then if you want to clone, so whenever you're working in the Databricks notebook, it is advisable to make a clone of that notebook, then work on it, and then merge the changes. To clone, we could select a particular notebook, right click, and then clone the notebook. Yeah, so that is how you clone the notebook basically. Then yeah, we saw how to create. No, so that basically you right click, hit on clone, and then give the path where you want to clone, and then you'll be able to clone it here. But I'm not getting. So how we move the notebook now? We will be getting a create clone option here, but I'm not getting it. Maybe because of the communication, I'm not getting it. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Some limits are there on the usage. Okay.
Yeah, but we should be able to clone. But
okay, that's fine.
But that is, yeah, that's the process. You understood, right?
Yeah.
Right click clone. Yeah. Then okay. So that is it. I'll do one thing. I'll export this one. You can take this certification, Database Lakehouse fundamental certification. This is how it will look like. It is very easy. So after the Delta Lake architecture, that session, you will be able to take this up. Yeah. So basically, after you finish this code, you will have something called essential capstone.